Getting ready for High Rocks, Chicago. Let's go run. Nothing like a little London rain. Let's go. Day. We're going to one of my favorite brands, stores, Vivobarefoot. I'm pretty excited for that. You gave me the wrong address. Scratch that. Alright, so these are the shoes that you always see me wearing. The Modus Strength right here. Just picking up the different colors. Obviously I have every single color at home, but this is the Modus Strength. Then we've got the Modus Flex, Modus Strength Flex. So I also wear these. This is more when I'm looking for a little bit more of the flex feeling, especially in like lateral movements, etc. Then this is one of the older shoes, the Primus, that I used to wear before the Modus came out. It's a little less bulky, still sturdy, but one of my favorites. And the one I had before that was the Primus Knit, which is the same shoe that I just showed you, but even more flexible with that knit upper. And then obviously we've got all kinds of outdoor shoes, hiking shoes, boots, as well as everything I showed you. They even have a kids section. So if you have kids and you want them to have barefoot shoes, get them off to the right start. We've got a whole kids section over here. Let me show you the wall. Whoa, that is crazy. And then the focus for right now is the lifestyle shoe. So boot, lifestyle, etc. We are gonna go over to the wall right here and show you what we got for the everyday lifestyle shoes. So here's another shoe that I wear all the time at home, the Census, right? It's super minimal. You can see and literally roll this thing up. Talk about a good way to pack, but one of my favorite shoes at home. Where's the Asana? Where is the Asana, the one I was telling you about? There's the Primus Light. Looking for the Asana. Oh, here we are. Boom, right here. This is the other shoe that I wear, the Asana lifestyle shoes every day. I think this is a different, I think this is women's, but beautiful, clean, barefoot. All right, so we're back here, and we're also going to use, I guess you would call it a scanner, not a machine, right? I guess it is a machine.
So this is a 3D. This is a 3D scanner.
Okay, so this is a 3D scanner.
Going to give you a full-on 3D scan of your foot. So exact measurements, exact dimensions. It's going to tell you 1 foot's bigger, 1 foot's ball girth, ball length, toe. Like this is like deep diving the actual shape and size of your foot.
The 3D, and then this is
the pressure plate.
The pressure plate. So we're gonna go in here and it'll give us all the data.
So this one's gonna tell you how you stand. So it should
on here.
So when you start standing on there, you stand on there.
So basically we're gonna find out exactly what my foot looks like. I wouldn't say what it feels like, but maybe everything that's wrong with it or everything that's good with it. And then we'll diagnose from there and keep the algorithm going with whatever shoes I end up in, right? So we're not gonna call any names out, but these, no bueno.
And a pressure sensor, and is really good at showing if there's any disparities in your stance.
All right, here we go. We're doing the pressure plate, then we'll do the 3D.
So
this is kind of nerve-wracking.
Okay, interesting. So what we're seeing a lot of is you're quite heel heavy. So if you can see that weight distribution a lot onto your heel.
Oh, here into the red, yeah.
And what we're not seeing as much as you like the gold standard would be is seeing that big toe a bit more prominently. So if you try and like shift your weight, rock it back and forth, and see if you can like explore. Can you try and plant your toes down and get those toes showing more? Like really try and drive some weight through that big toe, and then if you can get those big toes red, that's just a sign of foot strength. So in each corner is the percentages, and that's like the distribution.
So we're
weight.
Trying to get 25 on each.
Exactly. So see if you can do that. It's a little test to see if you can completely.
I feel like I should be focusing on my strength first. All right. I feel like this is taking so many nerves in my brain. There's so much going on in my brain right now.
That was so close.
I want it right on the big toe. Get a little white cross on your left foot. I want it on your big toe.
This one?
Yeah, your big toe. It's not going there. Come on, hard, right? Push your right foot. Can you do your big toe on your right foot? So that, you having to lean forward to get your toes down. So that's because of having narrow toe boxes or shoestring, you're losing the strength in your big toes to actually engage with the ground. So even though we can see, there you go, your left foot's finally down on the, you see that cross is finally there? You should be able to do that like in a heartbeat without even thinking about it. You should be able to literally, like you tap your fingers, you should be able to tap your big toe up.
All right, let's try it one more time.
And with equal quarters, so you should have equal quarters. So without leaning forward, try and do that.
You can tell this man likes a challenge.
I was gonna say, there you go. That's better.
Easy.
I think I just needed the mind to muscle / mind to metatarsal connection.
So it's mad how this down a little bit more here. Stand just on the left leg. Yeah, so we can see it is loading. We'd love to get it a little bit more flexible than on the ground. But it's not.
So what's that? More lateral movements?
Yeah, just over time, flexible shoes will help your arch load. A high or a flat foot isn't necessarily a bad thing. Yours is functioning fine.
So it's interesting, as soon as I get this graph to load up on the, like, you feel that arch go down, I feel everything on the lateral sides of my legs up through my IT band completely tight.
So if we left you here for a day with no shoes on, your foot's very clever. It'll start correcting and it'll start getting rid of the red. So you'll see like how the red will move off your heel as you get your weight a bit more forward, and then it'll start shifting, and your foot's really clever. It'll start sharing the load with everything.
But even right now, just focusing on trying to get this arch to come down, I see the quadrants start to get to a little bit closer to 25% on each, right? Than initially.
Plus, you're also thinking like hell of a lot right now, so your body becomes a bit more tense. Like, and literally, when you walk and when you run, you like put your foot in your hands doing what your foot's trying to do.
All right, so we're trying to go. All right, 4 up.
So try start with the big toe down. So push the big toe down and the 4 outside ones up.
Yep.
Without doing that with your fingers. Yeah.
Oh my God! Literally just over here.
So that's
Isn't that crazy that all the brain connections between what's happening in our...
And we've forgotten how to do it. This you ask kids to do it, they'll do it without even thinking. Then you want to do the other where you keep the 4 outside down, and now you want to lift the toe up.
That one's
You're doing it with your hand again. Come on.
That's the hardest one for me.
So a lot of people will have good movement one way, not the other way. So it depends on and so that's something you can do while you're brushing your teeth or whatever. Just it's re-engaging your foot, and you'll start getting it quite quickly. But it shows you how quickly you can start reconnecting with your foot up. We call that's part of our toga. So you're doing toga. Basically.
Toga.
There you go. So you just reconnect.
Creative.
So it's on a hard floor, so it's not ideal. And then you can lean really far back on it. So some people like will be in pain already, and then you can do under your toes, and put your toes forward, and then lean on it. So you're okay. So already I know your foot health's pretty good. Some people really struggle with that range and mobility in their toes.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, shit, barefoot shoes, metatarsal problems. Let's get the flexibility going first.
Right.
So you're just struggling a little bit with the brain to foot connection.
Yeah.
A little bit of short circuiting. So it's just little stuff like that. If you have clients or anybody who wants to try it, suggest some of these exercises first. You see, you're getting it already now.
Yeah, my pinkies want to learn too.
Yeah, I know, you're fine.
It's the hands.
It's so
for me. When you
crazy.
try to do it, and my hands are just going like this. It's just like,
That's your shock absorber. It's the only one. That's what does your strength. That's
So shock absorption is your Achilles and your...
the fascia. So this band and that is 75% of your body's shock absorber.
Okay.
This is not a shock absorber, this is a hinge.
Yeah.
So when people run on the heel, there's no shock absorption.
Yep.
This is a shock absorber. So when you run and you land on your front of the foot, your shock absorber is not working, right? So that's your shock absorber. So if somebody has a flat foot, when you pick your foot up, it needs to make this shape. So your shock absorber needs to be in this shape when it lands, right?
This is the ground, this is our foot.
So if you have a flat foot and you pick it up and it stays like that, then you have a problem. If you have a high arch and you pick it up and it lands and it stays high, then your arch is too rigid. So a high arch needs to load and a flat arch needs to take that shape, and then it's fine. So the whole thing it needs to be doing this.
So what's the ideal foot strike?
When you're running is almost the same. Jump up and down like this and let your heels touch the ground.
Interesting.
That's how your foot should land, under your body.
Yep.
And you should be able to do it.
It's just so insane to me that I feel like 95% of the population, I mean, I feel pretty well versed in the barefoot world, and all of this is very beneficial. You know what I mean? Like this information.
Yeah.
You hear it, you're like, it makes so much sense. Like when I started working at Viva, I kind of tell people it feels like I'm like relearning. Like
Yeah,
it's not,
totally.
I mean,
some half forgotten.
When somebody tells you, like, think about our feet, we cram them up now, and they're supposed to work like our hands, right? And you're able to do everything with your hands, right? Like exact exercise that we just did.
When you land, your toes will do this, right?
Yeah.
It's no brainer.
Yeah.
So why does everybody who runs the park run in tight shoes get away with it? As soon as they do a half marathon or marathon, they lose toenails and stuff. It's doing this the whole time. It's supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Any sport though, any sport. I play professional golf. Like barefoot for golf is like mind-bending. Pitching. If you're in baseball, as soon as you're fully loaded, the first thing that's going to start is your big toe is going to hit the ground.
Right.
The whole body is going to launch from your big toe. But your shoes, with now your cleats are going to be pointed, and your big toe is not in the strongest position. So realistically, as you're going to transfer the weight, you don't know it, but it's the same as this. First thing that's going to go is your big toe is going to. The whole body is going to turn on that big toe.
Yeah, when you
might be thinking drive with a hip or push with a knee or turn with a shoulder, whatever your key thought is, same as a golf swing. But in reality, that big toe has to anchor, and the whole weight's going to transfer from there.
We can scan your foot now.
Okay.
And let's say you're back in London in a year or two time.
Yeah.
You can scan again.
Okay.
And what I've scanned twice in 2 years, and my foot shape and size changed.
And size.
So I was a 41 and a 42. My left foot was a 41. And I talked to everyone internally and was like, does that mean my foot's grown? And people believe it's probably not grown, but what they think it was is the angle at which my big toe was basically straightened out. And because of that angle changing, it's changed my whole foot size. Because there's only like 1 or 2 mil between each foot size, right? So from my foot realigning and becoming straighter, I've gone up a size.
Interesting. All right, so as you can see from the conversations that we've just had, it's a wealth of knowledge, and I thought I was well versed in the barefoot world, but just hearing some of these things and some of the exercises, it's almost unfortunate because half of the population, it feels like, doesn't get this information, and it's available. So anyways, we're gonna jump on the 3D scanner now, and like Jesse was just saying, he said after a year his foot literally changed foot size just from wearing the barefoot shoes, right? So we're gonna jump in, and then when I come back to London, maybe I'll just move here, I don't know. We'll get some progress. This thing is as normal?
Yeah, you might need to get better results if you just pull your, up to, exactly.
Okay.
And then what's it saying?
All right, let's do this thing.
Hit scan.
Scan.
So you have to stay still, and if you can, try and balance the body weight, because that changes, as we've seen, where your body weight is changes how your foot will be engaging with the ground. So this is your scan coming out.
They're hard to get to.
And that's interactive, so you can play around with that if you want. So
this is saying that I have a size 14 shoe?
On your left size, and on the right side you're 13.5. So can you see what I mean by that? They're slightly different sizes.
Yeah.
And then what would be interesting to see that left foot, if that does ping up, if your right foot catches up with it.
So
It's so much about feeling. So when you put the shoe on, people say it feels too loose on them. So then they go a size down because that's what they're used to, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's their right size.
yeah, so I mean, all right, so every shoe that I wear is generally a 13. Honestly, some of the shoes I wear from here, I go down to a 12.
And that would be...
Have a much bigger shoe, so maybe I'm doing everything wrong in life. It's just so interesting to me because I can't tell you how much time I am not standing or on my feet. So this is so important. And I might be doing, not that there's a right or wrong, but there kind of is.
I have a prediction that that's so much different on your left versus your right because you were recording when you did it. So I think your balance was more on your right.
Should we do it again?
I probably...
Scanning again. So a lot of what this could be showing is narrow shoes, right? As opposed to a wide toe box, a barefoot shoe, something that is able to let your foot move freely and naturally, right? So as we see here with the ball width, you can see in between there, where's the one I was looking at before, the ball girth. So that right there can tell you exactly, it just looks narrow, right? So then, as we were seeing with the arch height, that pretty low, not that it matters too much, but the difference there is just the difference in the imbalances, which, as you know, with some of the small injuries that I had, it was all on the left side, which is very, very interesting. So as we address more and more of these and come back to London every other week, we're we're gonna check in on the progress over here at Vivobarefoot. All right, so we're gonna try on a shoe. And obviously, as we just learned, I should probably be wearing a shoe that's 14 sizes bigger. So we're gonna try, what are these again? The Gobi
Sneaker.
Gobi sneaker. I just like the look of these as an everyday lifestyle shoe right here. Let's do it. It's so funny, all the cameras.
You've got every angle.
These are the Gobi sneaker leather.
Uh-huh. Okay, so now my next question is, as we just saw, if I'm wearing a shoe that is too small, I've always understood when I'm fitting a shoe, how do I know if a shoe generally fits, right? I've always just gone off feel.
So that is an issue, and a lot of why women have the wrong size foot, more common than they have the right size foot, is because they're always used to be crammed into shoes, high heels, dress shoes.
Yeah.
So then there's a big disparity. So there is still quite a lot of importance about the feeling of how it does.
Okay.
We did used to recommend having about like a finger width free space at the end.
A finger width?
Like there, like that, or a thumb or finger, it's all preference. So from now that sounds alright, but to get a proper accurate thing, you should stand up, because when you engage your foot, as you know, pronation, toes extend.
Yep.
So if you give me a wiggle. So for me, that's how I'd wear mine.
Crazy.
With that much space, yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, these feel incredible, by the way.
And also, like, if you're wearing socks as well.
Yeah.
Minors.
These are one of my favorite looking lifestyle shoes as well. Yeah, they feel good. Number one, I'm gonna walk out in these shoes because I love them. But number two, look at the difference in the sole of the shoe that I was wearing previously that have hurt my feet the entire trip, and what that looks like in comparison to the shoe, right? You can see the imprint of my foot has been completely rolled over the side of that. That's my pinky toe. There's the footprint. You can see I have zero room to wiggle. That's my long big toe, or the second toe next to my big toe. It's completely crammed in there. That's actually insane.
And these aren't even like narrow suit shoes. They're still kind of like everyday shoes.
Yeah, so now let's look at this. So look at the difference in these two. You can already tell how much of a difference you have. Obviously, right here on the lateral side, medial side, and obviously this almost gives you a little extra. This is actually a smaller shoe size in the black, and it gives you a little extra length up here just so you can cram in. Maybe they didn't do that on purpose, but absolutely insane. I never thought I'd be on the floor looking at the insoles of feet and analyzing that much. More visual. This is also hilarious. Look at, you're upside down. So look at this visual of the foot on the insole. Literally, if my feet were working as they should, right? As when you step, your feet are gonna take that, right? They're gonna move out. So with this sole, my foot is completely hanging over. It is completely jacked. And then you go into here, and look, you have room everywhere, and it's gonna work naturally, which is insane, by the way, to see this. One last bit on exactly what we were looking at with the difference in these shoes, the shoe soles. It really trips me out that that's my pinky toe imprinted on the side. Anyways, so this is the exact visual that we're looking at with what I just showed you. So that is what my foot was trying to do. That is what my foot will be able to do in this shoe. That rhymed. I'm a poet. All right, so we're walking out of the store, and literally they're going from the littler store to right across the street. We've got a much larger store that we're gonna go check out. Offices above, and also it's on this really cool street. We got everything down here.
It's literally a building site right now.
Heck yeah, I love
We
it.
move in before the end of this month.
Seek the future.
Yeah, seriously.
I've actually not explored.
And four.
All right, so you're seeing it here first. So we got a Vivo bike.
Big moves, moving and
Loads
shaking.
of plants, all the natural.
I've never not actually not been down here.
Yeah.
So this is
Oh, I've got our relevant books. Shoes on. Oh,
bit of a build first. This is going to be the health studio.
Oh, heck
So there's going to be daily or weekly health classes, movement workshops. This is where we're going to have lots of foot scanners and 3D printed stuff.
So cool.
kitchen area.
One health studio and then 4.
Oh, wow.
I love that we feel like we're above the roofs. That's the
Yeah.
I want to come out here. It's working through there.
No, down there there's a little coffee bar.
Oh, I'm so going to be in there.
This is beautiful. All right, my friends, so we just wrapped up with Vivo. I'm now in the pouring rain. Nice London day out here. Had a nice little lunch at a Thai restaurant after meeting with the team. As you could tell, just all kinds of crazy knowledge going through that foot scanner, through the pressure points on that scale, and just like the wealth of knowledge that goes into our feet that the average, I guess, like I don't even have that knowledge. And I don't know, hearing it and seeing it, it just really puts in perspective exactly what we should be paying attention to within our feet. Like everything starts in our feet. So I don't know, hopefully you could hear a lot of what was going on throughout the time at Vivo. I ended up walking out with this pair of shoes. Is the Gobi sneaker. It's one of the new shoes for everyday lifestyle, a leather sneaker. Absolutely beautiful, and they feel incredible. So that's what I'm walking around in London now. I literally was wearing the other shoe that was, you saw the comparison of the sole. That was absolutely ridiculous, by the way. Just look at that way. I'd never really analyzed it like that. Just crazy. Anyhow, getting back on the tube, heading back home. I'm gonna wrap up with a little conclusion and outro clip, but gotta make it there first. Alright, my friends, we are back in the apartment, getting ready to go for my third workout of the day. It's 6 p.m., little PM session. And to round this all off, the little outro that we have for you, what shoes do I have? Vivo flipping Barefoot. Per usual, every workout I do. So it's just kind of fitting because we just wrapped this whole day up of going to the Vivo store. Honestly, before filming this clip, I haven't decided if I'm going to split this up into 2 videos because I feel like there's so much information. But if I do, go watch the other video. If I don't, hope you enjoyed this video. Barefoot lifestyle is the way. It's not even like, again, these types of things don't feel like sales to me. It's literally a part of my life every day. So why would I not promote it? There's so many benefits and pieces to put out to the world. Like there could be potentially hundreds of thousands, millions of people that see this video. And that's access to the information that we just talked about today in store that some people may not ever have a clue. And just hearing that kind of knowledge and information from the standpoint of the people that were helping me with my feet, people have been doing it for 13 years. It's so beneficial, and the information just isn't accessible for everyone. So I'm trying to make it accessible, and obviously I'm an advocate for it. I've been wearing it for over 2 years now. So I just think it's really cool the way they've expanded the brand to lifestyle shoes, hiking boots, everything. So much I could talk about. But anyways, that is all I have for you today, maybe on this video, second video, whatever. I hope you enjoyed watching a little kind of a day in London. I know I didn't get much to you. I also didn't even get the Barcelona video out, but oh well. Either way, I appreciate you watching. I am grateful for you. Again, if you want a discount on any of the shoes that you see, go to Vivo Barefoot. I'll leave the link in the description. Use my code NICK20 for 20% off any of the shoes. And give me some feedback once you have them on your feet. Give them some time and get used to the slappiness of the natural foot on the ground, right? Like it's gonna take some getting used to. So, anywho, have an awesome freaking day. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you're the first one to see my videos on the tube of you with me. I'll see you next time. Have an awesome freaking day, and don't forget to smile.